So now that you guys are getting into Photoshop, it's really important that you get to know a little bit about the actual Photoshop interface, how to get to Photoshop. You go to your little Windows icon. If it's not already on your screen, then you can go ahead and start typing Photos. Oh, there it is. Adobe Photoshop CC. You don't want that one. That's definitely a no. So you're going to look for the one with the blue icon that says PS, and that's what I have open right here. I will tell you there's a top menu right here that obviously you click on, you get a lot of different things that open up, just like if you're working in any kind of like word processing or whatever it might be. You have a left toolbar. All of these tools, if they've got that little tiny triangle, they have additional tools underneath them. So you click on it, you wait for it to pop out, and you go to the one that you need. So if this is the tool I need, I've got it loaded. All right. Over on the right side, there's some more menus on different functions in Photoshop, different windows that you can have open. And I want to show you all because it's going to happen. You're going to be like, oh, I shut down on something. I don't know what I did. In that case, I want you to understand if you go up to Windows and your workspace, you can reset your essentials. This is really important for all of you when you first get started because sometimes you are hunting around for a menu and you get frustrated because you can't find it. So when you get started, it might be really helpful just do Windows Workspace Reset Essentials. That's the basic one that I use so that everyone's on a standard. You'll see that everything kind of pops back open and we're ready to go. All right? So to open up a file, it's very much like opening up a file in any other program. File open. You're going to first need to download your file from your drive, from Google Drive. Download it to your phone, to your laptop. Here's the thing. If you download the edited picture, you're going to get an error. So I'm going to let you know in advance, if you can download the unedited version, you're going to be just fine. So again, download your unedited picture. Once it's edited in on your iPad or on your phone, sometimes it causes confusion in the program and you can't actually open it. So if you get an error message, oh wait, I got to go download the one that I didn't edit yet. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. My pictures happen to be inside of here in this folder. But when you download yours, I'd like you to have yours in your H drive, which is the one with your ID number. So I'm going to go ahead in here and I'm going to just pick an image. I use a different image for each of the 3 demos, so you'll kind of see obviously what it is. So I've got my picture there. And I want to introduce this area right here. This is my layers. You'll see there's a few other tabs behind there, but you want to make sure it's on layers. Photoshop works on layers. So just like a sandwich has bread on the bottom, then you might have some mayo, then maybe have some cheese, and have some tomatoes. You have layers that build up above here that block out whatever's underneath or enhance whatever's underneath. So a good practice to start with is to duplicate your bread. Because if I do too much, if I take a bite out of that sandwich and I decide, oh, I didn't like that, I wanted to do it this way, I can't put that bite back. So to help protect it, help protect my initial layer, I'm going to duplicate it. And I can do that one of 2 ways. One is just a right click, duplicate layer, and okay. And you'll see that I've copied it. For those of you that are going to start to get into keyboard shortcuts so you kind of memorize things pretty easily, if you hold the Control key button down on your keyboard and you tap the letter J, you'll see that you get the same effect. So you see right now I have 3. Let's say I do that on accident. Fine. I can drag 1 down to the garbage. And I'm ready to go. Okay? So in Photoshop, you can work in a few different ways. And we're going to start off with adjustment layers. So when you get to an adjustment layer, I want you to know that there's tons of ways you can adjust them. I am not going to go over all of them right now. I'm going to go over 3 of them. There's brightness and contrast, looks like the sunshine. Levels, which looks like a mountain range. And then the hue and saturation, it looks like a bunch of boxes. Okay? Those are the ones I'm going to ask you to kind of mainly start with on this project. So if I go to my levels, I get this guy popping up here, and he's called a histogram. The histogram is my distribution of light values right here, medium values, and dark values. You see I have very little dark in this picture. So that's something I need to pay attention to. Is that on purpose? Is it just a really light colored image? Or do I want to fix that up some? This is where I can start on that journey, okay? Additionally, you'll see in my layer stack here, I have what's called a layer mask with an adjustment layer for my level. So you're going to see those pop up, okay? So if I grab this right here and I just move it over a little bit, I can see my picture a little bit better. When I grab each of these sliders, you can kind of see the effect. Obviously, some of you go, oh my gosh, I love it. Well, you know what? Let's go for a natural effect on these starting pictures. Don't go for kind of a nutty, psychedelic look, okay? But I can start to grab these, and I can start to move these around. For example, if I darken up that water, do you see how I bring more attention into that flower? That might be more of what I wanted to do. But when I move one, sometimes I move it a little too much, and then I move the one next to it closer, and I see kind of how can I balance it. I wanted it to look transparent because that's water. I don't want it to be pitch black where I can't tell what's in there, okay? So that's really what I do. Now notice I move the ones that are right under my histogram or my little mountain range. I do not touch anything down here, okay? So that's really what I'm doing there. I can exit out of that, and I can say now I want to work and I want to look at my brightness and contrast. To do that, though, I need to go back to my background copy. I need to make sure that that's the one that's active. You can see it's a slightly lighter gray. And I'm going to go back here. I'm going to say brightness and contrast. I've now added another adjustment onto it. When I brighten it, I can darken it. Okay, so you know you've got options there. Let's say I want to sort of dull it down just a little bit. I really want, because it looks like that the center of this is actually candles, like they're on fire. Okay? I can also change my contrast by pulling this up or pulling this down. Maybe I like that gentle, softened appearance when I kind of pull the contrast level downward. Go ahead and X out, and I'm going to do one more. I'm going to click on my background copy, and then I'm going to go ahead up here to my hue and saturation. This one, I think, sometimes has the most effect. You grab this hue slider, you can pull it up, and you can really change the color. It's really important right now, though, that you don't go this wild with it, okay? It might look really cool, but it's not very natural. Save that for something else. We're just doing natural right now. So natural would be a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left until I'm happier with it. Like there, I think that makes me roughly happy. And then I can go here for saturation. I can oversaturate if I go crazy. Look at that. It's really too much, not natural. But I might want to bump up the values. Or I might say, you know what, I really like it. It looks a little vintage when I remove instead of negative number. Okay? Lightness and darkness, I really rarely use that on here. I usually use my brightness controls for that, so I don't think I've used it more than one time. Just going to keep that at a 0. Okay? I'm going to bump that saturation up just a little bit more. After that, I'm going to show you really quick how to save it and a little bit more about this. So I can turn off my eyeball right here, and I can actually see what each of these layers brings to the party. Okay, so that's my eyeball, that's my visibility. So I can see hue saturation, that's what it did. But you know what? Without hue saturation, I actually think I really like it without it. Or maybe you want to change it. To change it, I go back here, I just double click. Oh, sorry. I just double click on my adjustment. Oh my goodness, on my adjustment icon. And it pulls that back up, and then I can change or I can slightly tweak it the way I want it to be. Close that back out. So you can just double click, comes back up, you can make your changes, and you're done with that. So once you're done and you're happy, you're going to want to save it. And in this case, I'm asking you to save the Photoshop file, and then you'll be uploading that Photoshop file in the next class period that you're here. To do that, though, I don't want you to just hit save, because that'll be in your download folder. We're going to save as. You're going to go ahead and go to your H drive. Again, your H drive is your student ID number, so you're going to want to use that one. My suggestion would be to make a photo folder. I'm going to open that one up. I'm going to rechange this, and I'm going to go ahead and AP flower, that's aperture priority flower, edit in TX. Just gives me a clue what it is versus a weird file number, which makes it more difficult. And I hit save. At that stage, it is ready for turning in. So when I open up your Photoshop file, I should see evidence of adjustment layers. that you have added to that picture. So again, make sure that you follow closely with this video. You start it over, you watch a little bit, and you pause while you complete that task. Play the video, watch a little bit more, pause that, and then keep going in that method. Again, it's giving you a really great foundation to ensure that you will be successful in Photoshop, in digital photography, and you can build on those skills as we go along. And that is it.